Hey, welcome. I'm Marina Orms. I am here for the Astrology Jetpack. We are going live for session 4 of the Astrology Jetpack 10 Planets to Accelerate Your Vision for 2019. And I am covering, in this free training, I'm covering with you the power that astrology has to change your life. And so if you're learning about this for the first time, or maybe have dabbled a little bit in astrology and just really don't know the deeper insights into what it really can do for you, then you're going to love this. We are in session 4 right now. And so last week we had our first 3 sessions. And in session 1 through 3, we covered the 10 planets and what they are, what parts of you they represent, and why you have more than just one sign, why you have multiple signs and multiple soul lessons to learn in different areas of your life. We also covered your soul-based action plan, which is a plan that you can fill in to help you launch into your highest purpose. And 2019 is a perfect time to start doing that. So here we are, and this session today, we're doing the soul-based action plan part 2. So we're going to take what we worked on last week and we're going to look at how to implement that plan over time using the cycles of the moon. And so a lot of times when we think about astrology, we think about our natal charts. And what people don't always realize is that astrology is an ongoing description of the energetic environment in which we live. And so we have ongoing changes in the qualities of energy from day to day, from month to month, from person to person, how they experience those qualities and those energies. And astrology can help guide us with all of that. So it really is a new paradigm for how we think about our lives, and especially how we think about ourselves and self-care and our own wellness, and how we take care of ourselves, not just on the physical level, but to support our energetic needs, our souls, our spirits, that feeling that we have inside of ourselves where we need to connect with meaning and purpose. And really, when you think about it, those things are even more important than our physical wellness. In fact, I think of physical issues, and astrology really helps us to frame physical issues or challenges that we're facing as opportunities to understand ourselves more fully. And so as we confront those challenges, we learn more about ourselves, we learn more about our inner resources, we learn more about how we need to shift our attitudes, our beliefs, our ways of interacting with the people around us and the institutions we have to interface with, and just how we have power as individuals in the context of those kinds of situations when you're dealing with a health challenge or another kind of challenge in your life. Just how much power you have as an individual to find the place that feels right for you in navigating that challenge. So the challenge might be leading you to learn more about yourself, to discover what you're good at, to learn how to do something you didn't know how to do before, to realize that a connection or a person is really important to you, and to have the experience of that kind of connection through the experience of the challenge. So there are just so many gifts that life brings us when we look at it more holistically, when we think of life in terms of this bigger picture of what it really offers us in terms of our own healing and growth. And that is where we come down to the idea of a purpose. And you as an individual, you as a soul, have a purpose in this lifetime. It's not just one purpose, it's a field of purpose. And when you tap into that field where you feel like you're living your purpose, life has quality, it has value, it's meaningful, and that goes way beyond the things that we usually think of when we think of success. We think of overcoming a challenge, or earning money, or getting a promotion, or those kinds of things that we tend to think of, and our culture tends to value about what it is that gives life meaning. But when you think about it, really, it's what's behind that. Were you doing something that you loved and you got recognized or paid for that? Or were you doing something that you felt like you had to do, or that you were supposed to do? So that's what astrology helps us with. It really helps us to connect with what is that deeper feeling of meaning and purpose it's different for all of us. So it helps you identify what that is for you, and it helps you understand what those changing qualities of energy are, so that you know what the opportunities are at any given time. And that's what I do. I help people. I translate those energies for people. I help them understand what's going on. I help them understand what are the opportunities. So whenever I provide astrological insight, it's never sort of a predictive or fatalistic approach. It's always, here is the opportunity. Here's what the possibilities of what could happen, and here's what you're being invited to do. And so I have a membership program. It's called Manifesting with Moon Cycles, and you can check it out. It's manifestingwithmooncycles.com. And in that membership program, participants get these regular translations from me. They get the overview of what the energies are, and what specifically what the implications are for you in how you approach your own healing and wellness, what the opportunities are for you in any given moment and in any given month, and how to work with those, what to do about it. And I also record guided meditations that go with the new moon and full moon. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the new and full moon each month bring us these energetic opportunities to align and to remember what our true purpose is, and to continue to set goals for ourselves, set intentions, and remember what our priorities really are. So let me just see how things are going. I see people are commenting. Hi, I see Pamela and Terry and Lori. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. There's Dion and George. So awesome. Good to see you all here. And of course, we will have this recorded, so it will be available afterward as well. So that's what our topic for today is: Soul-Based Action Plan Part 2, Manifesting with Moon Cycles. We do have a handout, and if you are registered for the event, you should get those handouts by email. You can register using the Get Tickets link on the event page, and go ahead and open your handout. If you're having any trouble finding it or getting the emails, just go ahead and email us at info@astrologyheals.com, and we'll help you out. So guided meditations that help you with the energy of each new and full moon are part of that member program. And those guided meditations that I record, I've done this for 6 or 7 years now. Every single new moon and full moon, where there is a 30-minute guided meditation that you can listen to that will help you align with the energetic qualities of that particular new moon or full moon. So as you're finding that handout, that's what we're going to be looking at today, is the moon cycle and how it supports you in your intentions, your purpose, living that life that feels like it's at that higher quality level for your soul, your spirit, and your needs on that holistic level. So I got some new notifications going on here. Let me turn those off. So great. So if you have that handout, and some of you were with me last week, and we filled out the Soul-Based Action Plan Part 1. And in that, and so we filled out your alignment statement, which is your statement of what's important to you. And we're going to be looking at that today. And we also looked at the 4 elements, how to support yourself in each of these 4 holistic areas: earth, air, fire, and water, which relate to self-care, mindset, actions, aligned actions, and vibrational and emotional alignment. So it's mind, body, spirit, and emotion, bringing in all 4 of those areas. And those are the cornerstones of the Orms method of transformational astrology, which is what my book is about. The book is called Astrology Heals. And in it, I describe this method. I break it down for you like I am here in these sessions, and make it easy and approachable, so that you can start using this incredible language that really does open you to a new paradigm that supports you on all of these holistic levels: mind, body, spirit, emotion, and beyond. So if you have that handout, what we're talking about today is the cycles of the moon. And so the cycles of the moon are going to help you take that soul-based action plan part 1 with your alignment statement and implement it over the course of 1 moon cycle, many moon cycles, all year of moon cycles. They never end. That's a beautiful thing. They're always happening. And so what we do with moon cycles is we set our intentions on the new moon. That new moon is the seed time. And our new moon this month was the Capricorn new moon that was on January 5th. And that was actually our kickoff call for this Astrology Jetpack training series. So we're really working with the moon cycles here together. And the new moon is the time to set your intentions. So you want to take your soul-based action plan part 1 with your alignment statement. And then what you're going to do on each new moon is look at your alignment statement and either create it if you haven't before, or update it. Just take a look at it and ask yourself if it still feels right. If you want to make any changes to it, if you want to throw it out and start with something different, that's the beautiful thing. Every moon cycle brings new opportunities to start over. So you can start over and decide what you want to focus on this moon cycle. And on the Soul-Based Action Plan worksheet part 2, Manifesting with Moon Cycles, we have section D here, which is following from part 1, which is why it starts with D. And then the steps in part D relate to the new moon and restating your alignment statement, congratulating yourself on anything you've made progress on, just kind of doing a review of the last month, noticing if there's anything that felt too hard or that you didn't manage to do without judgment. That's the beautiful thing about this system, is that there's no judgment. It's always in the present moment. You always have the choice. And so what you're going to do is decide, maybe that was too much for me to have taken on. It wasn't realistic. I wasn't able to do it. So what am I going to set for my intentions this time that are realistic and doable, and get those grounded? So break it down into smaller steps if it was too much. If you feel like you failed, I always use the example of changing your diet, and you had great intentions. This happens with New Year's resolutions too. It's like you had great intentions to change your diet and eat everything in a certain way, and it didn't work. It didn't happen. So on the next new moon, what you're going to do is you're going to realize, okay, that was too much. It wasn't realistic for me. So what I'm going to do is break it down, and I'm going to make this change instead. This feels doable, right? And connect with that. Connect with what feels doable and tangible and right in this moment for whatever particular new moon it happens to be. So choose your alignment statement, revamp it, break it down, figure out what it wants to be this time, and then commit to making choices through the month that are in alignment with that alignment statement. And again, there's no judgment. It's not about success or failure. It's about, what did you learn? Because when you anchor in your intentions, a couple things happen. One is that you're planting a seed. You're telling the universe, this is what I want. And the universe goes, oh, okay, let's show you how to get that. Your clarity is reflected back to you through the universe's clarity. And then the other thing that happens is that you have now an anchor to remind yourself, this is what I'm creating. So whenever you find yourself in your everyday life spiraling into negative thinking or feeling overwhelmed or whatever it is that comes up in the stress of daily life that tends to derail you, when it comes up, now it's not a problem anymore. Now when that comes up, you get to take a nice deep breath, give yourself some love, remind yourself that it's normal to have those thoughts and feelings, and it's okay because you're anchoring in this intention and you're aligning with your alignment statement. And so you may want to have it written somewhere where you see it every day. Just take a moment to affirm, this is what I'm aligning with. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I am choosing to be in alignment with this thing that I want, this feeling that I want. So breathe it in, feel the qualities you want in your body. I really encourage you to let yourself get familiar with what it feels like. So go ahead and imagine, hey, this is already happening. This is what it feels like. And just let your body fill with that. And please know that you don't have to be in that space 24 hours a day for it to manifest. What you're doing is you're adding an extra minute of affirmation to be in alignment with that thing that you want. And that extra minute it counts. It makes a difference. And so if you can add an extra minute, an extra breath, an extra 10 minutes a day, an extra time in your routine where you remember to breathe and think of your intentions and open to them. And again, some of the positive reframes we talked about last time were, I'm open to seeing what this feels like. I'm willing to have this experience. I'm willing to be shown the path to reaching this experience. So that openness, that willingness is really enough. It's enough. You don't have to judge yourself on what's happening in the moment. So we go from the new moon to the full moon. And that first half of the moon cycle is called waxing moon. The moon is getting bigger each day, night. And then when the moon reaches the first quarter, which is when it's half full after that new moon, there's a challenge or conflict that comes up. Something is going to challenge you to anchor back into your intention. Something's going to try to throw you off kilter. So when you know that's going to happen, you're prepared for it. You just remember, what is it that I need to remember, and open the space to see a way through that challenge to shift it. And then we're going to have the full moon, of course, 2 weeks after the new moon. And that full moon is the time when something is revealed to you. The full moon is when the moon is fully illuminated. And so something in your life is being illuminated. And what that is, if you've set clear intentions at the new moon, then what's being illuminated is going to help you see how to reach those intentions. So you might have the experience of the thing you want. You might get to feel that. You might get to celebrate and enjoy some new development in your life that really supports and brings you into that higher state of being, that higher possibility for your life. You may also be introduced to the path to get there. And the path to get there can look a lot of different ways, right? It might look like a breakdown. It might look like a challenge or frustration. It might look like an insight or an aha moment. But around the full moon, there's something that is being revealed to you that is showing you who you need to be, or it might be giving you an idea or an insight about something you need to do that leads you down that path to experiencing the things you want to experience. So full moons reveal. This worksheet is going to help you reflect on that time around the full moon, on your intentions, noticing any results, noticing what's happening. Just, it's a really important time to pay attention to what's coming up. Did you, recently have a conversation, or did you hear some music or go to a movie that shifted your thinking about something or got you inspired or feeling different? Those are the kinds of things that are going to help you see more clearly how to align with the things that you want. And then the second half of the moon cycle, when the moon is going from full back to new, it's called waning, and the moon's getting smaller each day and night. And that waning period of the moon cycle is the integration phase. So you're integrating what you've learned, you're digesting it. It's an internal process of kind of reviewing, what was that happened? What did it mean? Who am I now that I know that? How does it affect my life? And this can happen in many different ways. In the example, coming back to the example of changing your diet, you may want to eliminate carbs, for example. And there's all different kinds of ways that people might choose to change their diet or get more healthy, but just use that as an example. And then we were talking about, what if you feel like you failed, or you had, at the first quarter moon, when that challenge comes up, that's when it's really going to be in your face. So maybe that was when you indulged and were not able to keep on track with your intentions. And then you get to the full moon, and it's going to reveal something to you. Maybe you have an old belief, an old wound that is driving you to feel that need for carbs. So it's that insight, that aha moment that you realize, it's not me reaching for the carbs, it's my inner child reaching for them, or whatever, right? So you get that insight, and then the waning half of the cycle is about digesting and integrating what that means. What does that mean for me? And then you start to see where else in my life does that inner child show up? Where else in my life am I creating the experience of failure? What does that look like? Why is that the way it is? And then what on the third quarter moon, which is when the moon is half full, when it's getting smaller every night, that third quarter moon is another challenge. And this challenge is about, what do I need to change? What do I need to change about my beliefs, about my habits, about how I think about things, or what I do that maybe is being unconscious and serving that inner child more than my greatest good? So there's a challenge at both the first quarter and the third quarter moon. The first quarter moon is more about your relationship with the external world, and the third quarter moon is more about your relationship with yourself. And so on that third quarter moon challenge, you're asked to make a choice to get yourself more in alignment with who you need to be to manifest this greatest good. And then you head back to the new moon, where you get to start over. You get that reset point where you get to review, reflect on what you learned, what happened, where did I fail, where did I succeed, where did I learn something, what did I learn, and how do I want to set those intentions now this month? And And so every month we have this ongoing moon cycle that supports us in aligning and working with those intentions so that we're always making forward progress. And you see that there's lots of different ways that can show up in the outer world, but in the inner world, you are getting closer and closer to who you need to be to support that holistic state of wellness that your mind, body, emotion, and spirit are striving for and are learning to embody more fully. So, and then each new moon is in a different sign. And throughout the year, those signs energetically, in the beautiful elegance of the way that the universe works, each sign flows from and builds upon the energy of the previous sign. So we had a new moon in Capricorn on January 5th. It happened to be also a solar eclipse. So that was a really powerful, extra potent new moon. And that Capricorn new moon brought the energy of structure and foundations. And so that new moon was all about how you get yourself grounded, what's really, truly important, what your own inner wisdom is telling you, as opposed to the shoulds and all those things from the external world. And then we go into the next new moon that is happening in February and will be in Aquarius. And that's a different energy. Aquarius is an air sign. It has more to do with outside the box thinking and checking in on what are going to be the new ideas that need to come in that are going to support you in creating those things that are truly important to you. And so the visionary Aquarius brings the energy of innovation, new thinking, new perspectives, that shifting out of our old way of thinking that's really going to support movement forward. And then every new moon in order builds upon the previous one in such a beautiful way. So as I mentioned, I have this member program in which we do the moon cycles, and the guided meditation for the January 5th new moon came out around that time. And now as we head into the full moon, that will be in Leo, and Leo is about self-expression. And we're going to have our wrap-up and closure call for this Jetpack series is going to be right before the full moon. So we'll be building on that energy, and the guided meditation for that is also available. So we have that, and I wanted to invite you, for those of you who are really interested in working with this energy in depth. I do have an opportunity to work with me personally in depth, and I want to let you know how to check that out. And also I'm offering a free 15-minute clarity call. So you can schedule time with me we can look at your soul-based action plan together, and you have a chance to ask your questions. I don't do chart readings in those clarity calls, but I'm happy to answer questions and look at your own purpose and process. And then we can talk about what it would be like to work with me in what I have is called a Rocket Fuel Soul Purpose Booster Package that includes those moon cycle guided meditations that I mentioned. And it also includes private one-on-one sessions with me where we'll work in depth, and we will go, if you become a client with me, we will read your chart, not just as a chart reading, but as a process that we look over the course of 5 separate private sessions to go in depth into your chart and how it applies to you and your life purpose and what you're here to do and how to do that, and how the wisdom in your chart gives you insight that helps you understand how you can accelerate and align with those qualities with this deeper new paradigm approach. So there is I have a link to share with you where you can go and read about that and schedule your 15-minute clarity call. So I'd love to speak with you. It's bit.ly/rocket fuel package. And we'll put that link in the comments as well. And we'll be sending it out to you by email. And I'm happy to take any questions about what I covered today. And I haven't been watching the comments, so I'm going to just take a minute here and look now. Oh, Ariana says your package sounds awesome. Yes, I've had some of you have been clients with me in the past, and so you really know how powerful it is to have this information from your chart, specifically packaged in a way that helps you apply it, that helps you leverage what it is you're already doing in your everyday life and what frustrates and challenges you, and how to work with that to actually use those frustrations and challenges to shift you to like that rocket fuel to accelerate you into your highest purpose, and that gives you that whole self wellness and experience of really doing what you're here to do. Just so amazing. And I've seen so much magic. I just can't even tell you. So much magic has unfolded in the course of the years that I've been doing this. And I think I was sharing on one of our calls last week that the magic isn't like, I've had people ask me, well, what are the results you get? Do you get what you wanted when you started out? And my answer is, because I have to think about it. I'm like, you know what? When people start out, the kind of results that they report to me later is so much more than they could have even imagined when they were setting their intentions for themselves and for their lives. So it's like it shifts you into a whole different universe of possibility, of self-awareness, self-understanding, living those things that your soul craves, and knowing how to work with energies that come up in your day-to-day life, so that you just know how to shift them when they come up, and you know what to do, and you bring in those profound experiences of joy, wonder, abundance, spaciousness, freedom, just the things that our souls crave and that you really do know how to create for yourself. And how the ways that we shift from something like a mindset of fear or a mindset of lack into the experience of knowing that we belong here, that we are creators of our experience, and that the way that the universe brings these results to us is really designed to delight and amaze us. I mean, it really brings us into a space of awe. So, okay, so I'm looking back to see, and if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments. Welcome, everyone. So happy to see you all here. Terry said, very curious to see what happens for me on the full moon. I coincidentally planned a clearness meeting with a group of wise women on that day. That's yes. I mean, it's just so many of these things are happening anyway, and we just aren't even aware of them. And when you have the awareness of where the moon is and what the energies are, it's much more than just the moon. The moon is just the tip of the iceberg. When you know what these energies are and how they're speaking to you, then you just have that much more feeling of soul empowerment. And we're actually, we are today in a Taurus moon, and we're heading toward the full moon. So we're past the first quarter moon. And like I said, our full moon is going to be on Sunday. So Sunday night, I think it might be different depending on what time zone you're in, but we're going to have our wrap-up call on Saturday, and we'll take advantage of that full moon energy. And of course, it's going to be an amazingly beautiful lunar eclipse that will be visible in the United States, at least. I don't know what other parts of the world it will be visible in. Yes. Yes. So, thank you. Harder to watch the comments and divide my attention. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So if you do have questions for me, go ahead and post them. And of course, take advantage of my offer to do a 15-minute clarity call. It will give you a chance to ask your questions with me in private, and we will, we can explore, what these opportunities are for you and what makes most sense for you. So happy to see you all here. Thank you for coming, and thank you for watching, and thank you for prioritizing your own whole self wellness. And I was talking to a friend last night about how we have, so many. I mean, I mentioned this on the very first kickoff call that we had. We have so many doctors, right, to take care of our broken bodies and things that go wrong with us mechanically. And, then of course we have our spiritual needs that we address in other ways. But what about the wellness of your energetic being? What about how your mind, body, spirit, and emotion all come together to describe who you are? And what about supporting that? And how important that is, and how important it is to recognize what opportunities you have to step into your highest potential, and how the world benefits from that when you do, and how you can share your gifts, make an impact on others, and just what a different place the world would be if we all had access to that kind of support. So that is absolutely my mission. I am here to make this support available and teach people that this new paradigm is here. It's here. I'm not the only one saying this. There's a field of study called astrology, and evolutionary astrology, and psychological astrology, and transformational astrology. There's astrology that uses this energy and shows you how the qualities of energy change from day to day and month to month, and how they impact different people differently, and what those qualities are, and to actually have a roadmap that shows you what those energetic qualities are and how to utilize them in the best way possible. That's what we're doing when we're talking about the soul lessons of the astrological signs, is we're going from the lower possibilities to the higher possibilities, and inherent in that is our human consciousness and our human choice. And to have the empowerment of having this information to make that choice from is it's amazing. It's life-changing. I've devoted my life to learning more about it because it is just absolutely fascinating. All right. Well, so go ahead and schedule your clarity call with me at, let me find that again, bit.ly/rocket fuel package. We'll be sending that link out to you. And I will see you on Thursday. We have some really exciting content to cover on Thursday, because we're going to be going into the lunar nodes. Yet another opportunity to understand yourself, your old karmic patterns, why you have an unconscious, what it does and what it's doing for you, and how it operates, and really how you can make empowered choices using the information of knowing your North Lunar Node, which is your evolutionary medicine. It's literally the instructions that tell you how to get where you want to be. So you'll get a taste of that on Thursday. I can't wait, and I will see you then. Bye for now.